Good morning. And then I'll get the record button too. Yeah. Welcome back, everyone. Good morning. Would you like to offer anything, Panda? Yeah. How about you, Bindi? You're playing with a little dust bunny over there. You got to get it. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to continue forth with our immersion into the yamas. And on Sundays, I'm changing the yama. So the one we were just doing is called Driti. And now we're going to be talking about Arjava, A-R-J-A-V-A, Arjava. And Arjava means to be straightforward, which has a couple of interpretations. One is to be straightforward as in not zigging and zagging, like keeping your aim, being straightforward with your path and your practice. But actually, even more important than that is the translation of Arjava as being straightforward, incapable of hypocrisy, the absence of hypocrisy, the fullness of sincerity. So it's another form of honesty, we could say. Arjava is to be straightforward and direct, not with the absence of compassion or kindness and such, but hey, ask for what you want. So no absence of compassion or kindness in that, but it's really in us, the absence of hypocrisy and the fullness of sincerity. So if we're doing that with ourselves, if I can say, I'm not going to be hypocritical with myself, that's an internal journey. And that might actually shore up our commitments to our yoga practice. It might raise that a few notches as well. But then the important work, and maybe the more difficult or vulnerable work, is to also express with straightforwardness, directness, sincerity to others. And again, the absence of hypocrisy. So, hi. I was just going to put my leg down there. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, that's where I put that body part. That's right. Yep. Watch out for your tail. Okay. So one might ask, and we'll unpack this in the week to come, one might ask, well, why would it be difficult to be sincere or straightforward or direct? And what is the difficulty in not being hypocritical? And why would that be more difficult with others than it might be with ourselves? So we'll be unpacking that in the days that come. So let's take a comfortable seat for now. We're going to start with meditation, as we always do. Rest your hands in your lap. You're welcome to close your eyes if you like. When you arrive in your seat, try to get a sense of, in this particular seat, how can you embody the feeling tone of the yamas so far? So like ahimsa, the absence of violence, satya, the fullness of honesty, asteya, the absence of stealing, brahmacharya, respecting your vitality, aparigraha, the absence of possessiveness or hoarding, daya, compassion or mercy, driti, having this commitment to fortitude for the path and the practice, even when there's adversity. And now arriving in the practice, Arjava. Notice what that's like in your physical body. And see how your breath supports you to arrive in those qualities as well. We could imagine that if we've been walking the sort of stepping stones of the yamas, by the time we arrive at this one called Arjava, we would be inclined to be a straightforward, sincere, direct person. We would be inclined to respect others with those qualities in ourselves. At the same time, of course, we all have some deeper work to do, and occasionally we have the dust bunnies of emotional healing to be doing. With respect for where you are on your journey, please join your hands together at your heart. And we'll chant Asatoma Sadgamaya. Om Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Om Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Om Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha Hari Om. You may bow your head to your heart. Release your hands. Open your eyes. Yes, you need something? Well, I know you just ate. You just had a long play period. But there's something that you're wanting. There's birds right outside that window and you can't get to them. I'm sorry. You can't go out there to the birds. Nope. Okay, please take a comfortable seat, an upright seat. We're going to be using some pranayama and the eyes again, as we were working with last week, to help stabilize the mind so we can have this sort of honest inner reflection, like, where are the places where I'm not being forthright or direct or sincere? Where am I holding back my sincerity? Where am I holding back my forthrightness or directness? So start by interlacing your fingers, please. Push the heels of the hands straight forward. And then inhale, raise up with your heart and your arms. And as you're pressing up here, keep the spine tall and your tailbone grounded. With the arms up overhead, without moving your head and with the eyes closed, inhale, gaze up behind your eyebrows. Exhale, gaze down behind your cheekbones. Inhale, gaze up. Exhale, gaze down behind your cheekbones. And once more, inhale to gaze up behind the eyebrows. And then exhale, push out with the arms, relax your eyes. Reach back to interlace your fingers at the small of your back. Roll the shoulders open. Give a good strong squeeze of the shoulders towards the wall behind you. And as you do that, make the head level, so neither down nor up. As you inhale, gaze up behind the eyebrows. Exhale, gaze down behind your cheekbones. Inhale, gazing up inwardly. Exhale, gazing down inwardly. Release your hands to your lap and do palms face down, please. Now inhale, glide your gaze to the right with the eyes closed. Exhale, glide left smoothly. Inhale, right. Exhale, left, doing your best to make it a smooth transition. Once more to each side. And then rest your eyes in the center. Now take the left hand and place it on your right hand, reaching across. So this is a downward angle, and then we're going to be going up to an upward angle like this. And you're going to be following your thumb. So inhale to go up, exhale to return. And so this is a little bit of a twist right now. And then as you inhale, open your eyes and follow your left thumb. Exhale, return. Inhale, open. Exhale, return. Once more, inhale to open. Exhale, return. Keep your left hand on your right, close the eyes. Inhale, gaze to your left from inside. Exhale, gaze down and to your right. Inhale, gaze up and left. Exhale, gaze down and right. Come back to center. Place your right hand on your left hand. A little bit of a twist to the left for a moment, and then inhale, open to your right, follow your right thumb. Exhale, return. Inhale, open. Exhale, return. Once more. Close the eyes and inhale, gaze up and to the right. Exhale, gaze down and left. Inhale, up and right. Exhale, down and left. Return to center. Take notice like of the quality of your mind or your inner sense of connection to a deep knowing or mental stillness, maybe even a sense of cohesiveness. Okay, and then please rise up to standing. Hey, little one. You just got settled and now I'm going to be moving. Yeah. So take a wide stance in Prasara to Paratanasana. And let's place 2 blocks. You can stretch them out so that the arms are going to be lengthened, extended. And reach back with your hips. So you can imagine bowing the torso a little bit on this angle from your hips to your fingertips. Let's energize the legs. Excuse me. And as you press into your feet and energize your leg muscles, imagine that you're pressing down and out, like you're going to stretch the yoga mat between your feet. Come into the Ujjayi breath, and while you keep the head centered, lift the base of your skull. And notice how the lift at the base of the skull changes the shape of the throat. See what happens then to the sound of the breath. Bring the attention from the eye activities now down into the throat. And as you make the hollow in the back of the throat, listen for the breath sound, even if it's very subtle. Walk your hands and your blocks to the right. Draw the left hip back. And now you've changed the spine into a little bit of a C shape, but keep the lift at the base of the skull and rest your mind down from the eyes into the throat. Now while keeping your attention in the throat and the legs grounded and strong, as you exhale, start bending your left knee so that your left hip reaches a little further back from your left hand. And inhale, straighten your left leg, press into both heels, and let's walk the hands over to the left side. And when you're walking out in this direction, draw your right hip back and energize both legs and both feet. Lift the base of your skull so you can feel the sound of the breath is created in the back of the throat. And that shape is something that you can sustain with a little lift at the base of the skull and a sense that you're hollowing the upper palate, the back of the throat, and the base of the tongue. That makes the Ujjayi sound, and that Ujjayi sound and Ujjayi process is very calming for the vagus nerve and helps to increase our mental concentration. So as you next exhale, start bending your right knee so your hips are going to glide to the right, increasing the distance between your right hip and your right hand. And then inhale, raise up to center. And walk your blocks back to the center place where they began. Lift your hands to your hips, please. And rise up to standing. And let's go heel, toe, in. Come to mountain pose. Relax the effort of the eyes and the effort of the breath, and just stand in what you would imagine to be your plumb line. Okay, now reach for your yoga strap, please. And with the yoga strap, I'd like you to put a loop into it so that you have a loop for your, let's do your left hand first. So place your left hand in the strap and then raise it up overhead. Now you've got the strap with the right hand also, and that's going to be providing some tension. So when you take the left arm up, make that straight, turn your palm across the midline of your body, and then take the right hand and slide it on the strap until your arm is about straight out to the side. You root into both heels. Draw the lower abdomen in. And as you next inhale, raise up and arc slightly over to your right. Now the right hand is pulling on the strap, but the left hand has to maintain its own integrity. So left hand, left arm, left shoulder, left hip, left heel. Lift the base of the skull so that your head is not pushing forward. And then with an exhale, tone your left low belly and bring your torso upright. Take the strap behind you so you lower the left arm without hitting yourself in the head with the strap. Let's take it to the right hand. Take the strap in front, raise your arm up, and then slide the left hand on the strap until your left arm is about shoulder width, or shoulder height rather, excuse me. Inhale, reach up, root into your right heel, right leg, keep the tailbone strong, tone the right low belly, and as you're coming over to your left, the left hand is going to pull down on the strap, but that gives the right arm a chance to increase its integrity. Notice the breath coming and going, and ask yourself if the shape of the throat is still hollow, or have you tightened or hardened the palate or the tongue? And then with your next exhale, use the right low belly to glide yourself back up and open the right arm. Hopefully the strap does not hit you in the head. Take a wide stance. Okay. In this wide stance now, we're going to be doing a variation of Parita Trikonasana that is done a lot with my teachers in India, and we don't do it very much in this way here in the US. It reminds me a little bit of middle school or high school gym class, actually, but we're going to do it here as yoga. So inhale, sweep the arms wide. And then exhale, on the way down, come across towards your right ankle. Put the back of your left hand to the outside of your right ankle. And then inhale, raise back up. And exhale, come down. Inhale, raise up. Imagine keeping the distance between the two arms pretty consistent. Inhale, raise up. Now see if you can add following your left thumb with your eyes. Inhale, raise up. The eyes are centered. Exhale, see if you can add following your right thumb. Inhale, raise up. And once more to the left. Inhale, rise back up. Eyes to center, relax the arms. Sometimes I like to start class and say things like, we're going to do the corkscrew method today. And we are kind of corkscrewing down from the eyes to the throat, now into the heart, so coming down and down into the body. Okay, so now we're going to go to that practice. You're going to hear me say, bend the opposite knee. So you're going to be moving away from the twist that you're creating. So let's go like this. Inhale the arms wide. And exhale, come down to your right. Put the back of your left hand around the outside of your right ankle. Try gazing at your right thumb. And then inhale, bend the left knee. And exhale, straighten the left leg. Inhale, rise up to center. Exhale, come down to your left. See if you can follow your left thumb with your eyes. Inhale, bend the right knee so your right hip is going to the side. And exhale, straighten the right leg. Inhale, rise up to center. These are contralateral practices. So when you exhale, come down to your right. We are stimulating the brain here. Inhale, bend the left knee. Because the bilateral or contralateral practices use the two hemispheres of the brain in collaboration. When you next inhale, rise up. We're also giving you something a little bit unusual to do. So your proprioception and your interoception are being challenged right now. So with your inhale, bend your right knee. Exhale, straighten the right leg. Inhale, rise up to center. And then exhale, release the arms. Let's go heel toe to center. Close the eyes. And see if you can sense now, not just from the eyes to the throat to the heart, but how are things right hemisphere, left hemisphere? Okay, and then take a wide stance and you bring your blocks into action here. Leave your kitten where it is. Turn your right foot to the right, please, and take the block on the tall setting on top of the block on the medium setting, like this. Step the left heel slightly out. So you've got this angle where the hips know that you're going to be coming down to the right, and they're not trying to stay kind of 180 or like headlights driving in this direction. So your feet are helping to tell your legs, which are helping to tell your pelvis where you are. Root the tailbone down. Inhale, sweep your arms wide. And then exhale, come into this relatively high form of Trikonasana triangle pose. Inhale, sweep your left arm past your left ear. Now with your exhale, gaze down to your right, past your right foot. As you're gazing down to the right, close your eyes. And take the eyes a little further to the right than they can go. I'm sorry, further than your nose can go. You can maintain a sense of proprioception for all the parts of the body. So left heel, right heel, left outer hip, right outer hip, the torso, left arm, the eyes. And then slowly inhale and turn your head, open your gaze, open the heart. And exhale, rise up to center. And let's change sides. So turn your right foot and toes in, take the right heel slightly out, turn the left toes out. Place the medium block and then the tall block. It's not a deep triangle pose, and that's on purpose. Inhale, sweep the arms wide. And then exhale, place your left hand on its block. Sweep your right arm past your right ear. So keeping this pose relatively stable, right? All the parts of the body. It's like a starfish shape to keep track of. Turn your gaze down past your left foot. Lift the base of your skull so the back of the throat is still hollow for the breath. Close the eyes. And inwardly turn the eyes farther than your nose can go to the left. Keep track of your right foot, left foot, right outer hip. Keep the eyes turned to the left. Left outer hip, right arm. Breathe in. And then exhale and start turning your head. Open your eyes. Rotate to the open version of Trikonasana. And exhale, rise back up. Pull yourself up and turn your left foot into parallel, right foot into parallel. And see how things are feeling inside. Now let's take the two blocks on the right, each on the medium setting, like this. Take the left heel slightly out, the right foot directly out. Inhale, sweep the arms wide. Now turn to look at your left thumb. And keep following your thumb as you come down to this version of triangle pose. As you aim to look up at your left thumb, see if you could keep the gaze open this time. See if you can orient left heel and toes, right heel and toes, left outer hip, right outer hip, the trunk, left arm, right arm. Gaze at your left thumb, but know where your right pinky is. And now as you exhale, start turning your head. So your nose is going to point down towards your right foot. You can close the eyes. Gaze a little further to the right. And then exhale, pull up to standing. Relax both arms. Turn the right toes in, turn the left toes out. We're giving your brain a bath. The whole of you actually, not just your brain. Take the arms wide and gaze at your right thumb. And then exhale to come down. Keep the legs strong, the heels grounded. Place your left hand on its block. And see if you can gaze up at your right thumb. And for some of us, the neck is not that flexible, so it's of course okay to move the thumb into view. You might have to bring it forward into view. As you keep this gaze up and your eyes steady, just check with the part of your mind that doesn't have to pull away from the eyes. Check your right foot, left foot, right outer hip, left outer hip, right arm, left arm. And then begin to start turning your gaze down. So rotate your head while keeping the triangle pose steady. Close the eyes and gaze to your left farther than your nose can go. Now with an exhale, rise up to standing. Release the arms. Make the feet parallel. Let's put the blocks down. And we're going to go heel toe into mountain pose. Close your eyes and stand at ease. You can just sort of check, how is the corkscrew method working as we go further down into the body? And what is your sense between the two hemispheres of your brain and body? One of the reasons that we're not more sincere or direct with our language, one reason that we zig and zag, is that between our right brain and our left brain, we're sometimes in conflict. And that conflict can come out in strange ways in how we speak in our relationships also. Okay, so keeping this in mind, we're going to come down to the floor and work into the pelvis and the lower belly. We'll see what my teaching companion has to say about this transition. Hello. Well, I'll just work around her and we'll see what she's inclined to do. So I'd like you to start with 2 blocks out in front like we often do for child's pose. Place them out here. Reach your hips back. And in this child's pose, let's put the knees as close as they go for you. For some of you, that's going to mean that the thighs are touching. For others, not quite touching. But as you reach back with your hips towards your heels, lift the base of your skull. And inhale, roll your spine up to cat pose. Heel into the lower back there. Exhale to table pose. Now this is going to be a twist that's familiar to you. We haven't done it recently. This twist is going to include the head, the neck, the shoulders, the heart, and then into the lower back also. So we'll see what happens for me here. We're going to take the right arm under the left arm. Now that was your right. Yeah, put your right arm in closer. That's right. Yes. Turn your head to the right. See how well she's doing? Lift the right ear up. Take the left ear down. What a good student you are. Okay. Take the left arm under. Come to the back of your left hand, the back of your left wrist, the back of your left forearm, the back of your left elbow, the left side of your head. And as you do this, press into the block with your right hand. So your right shoulder is kind of stacking over your left shoulder. This is a variation on the pose called thread the needle pose. Now swivel, pivot your feet and your shins to the right. So you've added a little side bend. The left lower back may feel a little bit longer. And then swivel your feet and shins to center. Press into your right hand and inhale, return to table pose. You put the left foot behind the left ear while vigorously moving the tongue up and down the tail. That's excellent. You're just a natural at this. Okay. Take the right arm under, come to the back of your right hand, come down with your right forearm, your right elbow, your right shoulder. You're on the right side of the head. Press into the block with your left hand. So this twist you can feel in the heart and the shoulders. Now pivot your feet and your shins to the left so that your right lower back just got longer. And press into your left hand, swivel the feet and shins back to center, raise yourself up to table pose. And reach back to child's pose. And then walk your hands back to Vajrasana. Notice what's happening in the mind. Now we're going to use a slightly different version of the same pose. And I'll move myself to my left. We'll see how this turns out. So come back to your 2 blocks, please. Okay, for this one, I'm going to ask you to step the right foot back to plank pose first. So it's all the way back there. And then take your left hand and come down towards your right foot. So that means that you've already caused the C shape of the torso, the upper torso. And then you're going to bend the right knee. It can come back down onto your left arm. With your right hand on your block, you can support the twist of the upper body to your right. And then glide the right foot back to plank. Press into your right hand and return to table pose with the hands on the blocks. We've often done this with the hands on the floor, which is a fine option to do it that way. We're using the blocks today. It requires a little bit more dexterity and strength, but it also gives you a little bit more space. So let's step the left foot straight back. Join the paws together. Oh. And then take the right hand under. Reach down the length of your mat towards your left foot. Come to the back of your head on the right side or nearabouts. And then you can bring the left knee down onto the right arm. Use your left hand to help the twist. There's compression in the breath right now. And glide the left foot back to plank. Press into your left hand, return to table pose with your right hand. Reach back to child's pose. And then walk your hands back to Vajrasana. And pause again to notice what's happening in the mind. As I said, we're sort of corkscrewing our way down and down. So check and see as you, almost like you're coming down a spiral staircase from the mind, through the throat, through the heart, and coming down and down into the body. We're going to go a little further into the abdomen here. So what we're going to do this time is, yes, curl down into the right with the tongue vigorously above the right outer hip. Yes, just like that. See how there's a C curve and a twist? Okay, let's take a blanket to sit on, please. You could also use 2 blankets. What I'm going to do is fold my blanket into thirds there. So when you sit on it, sit so that you have your left foot in Sydhasana and the right foot, we're going to call that a kind of Marichyasana position. Okay, so left foot on the inside, right foot up like this. So now you have your right thigh with some pressure against the abdomen, and that's on purpose. Okay, wrap the left hand around. Take your right hand onto your right thigh and give a little support there so that you can add what I call wise leverage for twisting your lower belly to your right. Now, as you twist, turn your head to the right with the eyes closed. Press your right hand against your right thigh. Use your left hand to snug the right shin into center. And as you're turning the deep inner belly, the lower belly, notice what happens if you rotate your eyes a little more to the right. And then unwind, come back to center. The eyes can be closed in the transition. Take the right foot down into Sydhasana. Kind of sense what's happening in the belly. Keep the right foot in Sydhasana. Place the left foot in Marichyasana. Okay, take the right hand around your left shin, left hand onto your left thigh. And as you snug, so you do want there to be contact, twist to your left, turn the inner belly to your left, rotate your head to your left. Now with the eyes closed, gaze to your left from inside and observe what happens in the inner belly. With your exhale, keep the eyes closed as you unwind. So you're undoing the corkscrew and then take your left foot down to Sydhasana. Try to sense as you're coming down this sort of internal spiral staircase. How much access are you getting lower than the floating ribs or lower than the belly button? Down to the pelvic floor or the pubic bones. We're going to pick up a piece of yesterday's practice, and this requires the two blocks to sit on, a blanket for your chair seat and your chair. You may also want a blanket to sit on top of those blocks, and the blocks are optional. I'd like you to pad the chair seat though, even though the blocks are optional. I don't consider the blanket on the chair seat optional here, if you've got a metal chair, especially. And then we're making a little seat. I like my seat to have my blanket on it, like this. I am making a little bit taller seat, and that is on purpose for me with my hip replacement. You might also prefer it. We're going to place this on a little diagonal relative to the chair. Oh, lie on your back. Curl in a C shape to the left. Reach for the tail vigorously. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Very good. Put the right paw on the right foot. You got it. You're advanced. Whose tail is that? Okay, take the left leg out straight towards the chair and pull the right foot and right thigh over. I'm sorry, I just said left and right backwards. Bring the left leg into Sydhasana. Take the right leg straight out under the chair. And the reason that that's important is that we're addressing your digestion too. Yeah, sorry about that. I don't want to be responsible for your digestion going backwards. You know what I'm saying? Okay, put the left leg behind the left shoulder blade. And we're not going to do that one. We're going to do this one. So turn towards and glide forward. Let's put the chair up so that you can have your forehead on the chair. And then as you come forward, reach the left arm. Possibly you'll hold the rung on the back of the chair between the two legs, or you'll reach over to hold the foot of the chair with your left hand. Pick up your head and turn it to your right. So you're going to be on your left temple. Some of you might find that you like to hold your right foot with your left hand, which is fine. You also can hold any of the legs of the chair. Let's draw the left hip back. Even as you're twisting to the right, there is a shortening of the right side waist, a lengthening of the left side waist. Turn your inner belly to the right, as well as your heart, and with the eyes closed, also turn your gaze to the right. And then let's please unwind. Roll yourself back up to sitting. And let the pelvis and the torso be kind of neutral together. So you're probably facing a little bit at a diagonal. And we're going to return to that one. So rotate towards your right leg, slide out. Turn your head to the right. Walk the left hand to hold onto the chair in a place that feels supportive to you. Energize the right leg. Press down through your left shin. And as you're rotating your torso to the right here, go ahead and press your right hand down against the floor to be of help. So rotate the inner belly to the right, the mid belly, your heart, your shoulder blades, your shoulders, your head, and with the eyes closed, also turn the eyes. And once more, we're going to exhale to unwind, roll back up, and sit really still. Now bend the right knee. Let's do something while we're here, just as a kind of a logistics saving maneuver. Hi, honey. Yeah, I'm gonna use the chair for the right foot. Yeah, that's the right shin. The right foot's gonna go there. You do your own practice, I'll do mine. Okay, turn your little setup so that it faces towards the chair more directly. Watch out for the cattail. Now, I'd like you to pick up the right foot and place the outside of the foot on the edge of the chair. So what you've got is you take the leg like you're doing pigeon pose. I'm going to bring this a little bit closer. So you place the right foot like this. Right, so here's the right thigh, here's the right shin, here's the right foot like so. And then you get to come forward Yeah. That's my right foot. Yeah, that's the chair. You're welcome to relax the head. Of course, sensations in the right hip, right outer hip, maybe the right inner thigh. And drop the mind down into your right lower belly and right pelvis. And then rise up to sitting. And we'll place the right foot back down. Let's change sides. So now you can keep the chair where it is and take the right leg to Sydhasana. Turn your blankets on this little diagonal and take the left leg under the chair seat. Can I just use that little spot right there? Do you mind? I'll just scoot this over. Yeah. You're about ready for your Shavasana, I think. Okay, turn towards the chair and let's come forward. You can turn your head to your left. You're going to rest on the right temple. Take your left hand on top of the kitten's head to support yourself in twisting to your left. No, use the left hand on the floor to support your twist to the left. So I was saying before, we're doing some practices that are contralateral, or sometimes we use the word bilateral. It means that we're crossing the midline and we're using both hemispheres, both the lateral parts of the body, right hemisphere, left hemisphere, also for the brain. And I was saying that one reason people are not so inclined to be direct or straightforward, or it's hard to practice forthrightness, is because there's a conflict between the left brain and the right brain. A conflict between how we feel and what we think, or how we feel and what we think about what we feel. A conflict between like a deep inner desire, but a kind of feeling of what we should be doing or should not be doing. There's many variations on that. Let's rise up to sit. We do this one twice today. So rise up to sit, pause, acclimate, come into your equilibrium. You are a kitten. You should go under the left thigh of the human to lick the yoga mat. Exactly, just like that. Okay, rotate again towards your chair if you're human and walk out. As you're coming down, turn your head to your left. Press into your right shin so that behind you, the right hip is grounded on the blankets or the blocks. You have shortened the left side waist. We are lengthening the right side waist. The eyes closed, and as you turn, it's kind of like going up the corkscrew, turning from the base of the belly first, mid-torso, heart and shoulders, your throat, your head, and then your eyes from the inside. Exhale to unwind. Rise up to sitting. Go ahead and bend the left knee. We're going to make this setup that we're sitting on now more parallel with the front of the chair. Excuse me, Bindi. Okay, and then take the left foot up. Like a seated version of pigeon pose or figure 4 pose. Right? And then you can come forward. You can go under, you can go around, it's up to you. It's up to your hip, really. Bring your mind down to the sensations of the body. Of course, all sensation is information. It's not there to try to annoy you. So see how you respond to sensation. Please rise up to sitting, and if you're a cat, you take the chair pose. Perfect. Yeah. And then bring the right leg down, or whichever leg that was, bring it down. Come to Sydhasana and see how things are feeling. Okay, now we're going to take this little setup that you've been sitting on, and without the chair, since planned it that way, but also the chair is occupied now. So what I'd like you to do is, let me get my lefts and rights sorted out. This will be my left according to you, and this will be my right. So bring the left foot down to Sydhasana. Pick up the right foot and hold it with your hands like this. Let's try to keep the left shin grounded. So you have your right foot with your right hand. We did this yesterday lying on our back, so we're doing it sitting today. So when you hold on to your heel, see if you can glide your knee back near to your shoulder. So they're going to say hi. Remember how before she was demonstrating, put the left leg behind the left shoulder blade and then lick the tail vigorously. We're going to just bring the right knee behind the right shoulder. Sit up straight and tall as best as you can. Remember all the yamas that precede today. So ahimsa, satya, asteya, brahmacharya, aparigraha, daya, and dhruti, and now Arjava. You can firmly hold your right heel with your right hand and begin to slowly straighten your right leg out to the side. It's going to cause the arm to rotate. Rotate your shoulder open, reach through your heel, lift up through the chest and the heart, reach up through the crown of your skull. And then bend the right leg and let's bring it down and across and place your right foot across the top of your left thigh. And just see what you can do to lower the right knee. Maybe it'll be level to your hips and pelvis. I like to hold my foot because otherwise the yoga tights are kind of slippery and I don't have, this is my newest hip, I don't have like a lot of agility there just yet. I have plenty, as you can see, but it would slide without my hand being here for support. So press the right knee down, lift up through the heart. Reach with your left hand to hold your right ankle. Wrap the right arm around behind. Your right, so the spine is upright, roll the right shoulder back. And then come around to face forward. Okay, and let's place the right foot down, pick up the left. So the right leg goes to, we'll call that Sydhasana. I am sitting up higher because it's easier for my hips right now, but of course you can sit lower if you want to. Pick up the left foot. You can hold it with both hands. So the practice of Dhruti is to be steady even when facing adversities or unknowns, or let's say improvisations in yoga class. And we're doing this, often yoga is a bilateral process, right? We have pose to the right, pose to the left. We're adding some twisting into the inner belly today, and of course the heart and the shoulders. So maybe we could think of it like we're doing this corkscrew method down. Can we integrate the left and right hemispheres of the brain? And also might we unearth the reasons why we don't stay with directness or straightforwardness, the reasons why we aren't always totally sincere. Maybe also touch the courage to become so. As you're holding your left foot firmly with your left hand, keep the right thigh and right shin grounded, and you can work the left leg towards straight. That does cause the shoulder to rotate open this way. Lift up through the heart. And then bend the left leg and point the toes, bring it across the top of your right thigh. You can hold with one or both hands. Aim the left knee down, but not lower than the seat that you're sitting on. I'd say about level with your hips would be enough. Lift up through the spine. You can hold the ankle with your right hand so that we're going to wrap around and twist to the left. Roll your left shoulder open. And then exhale and come back around to face forward. And now I'm going to ask you to run an experiment. Put the blocks aside and come down to see what your seat would be like if you were to sit. So we arrive deep in the pelvic basin, and you can ask yourself about this. The practice for this week is learning about directness or straightforwardness, a kind of fullness of sincerity and the absence of hypocrisy. Which foot is on the inside, which foot is on the outside. Anybody who feels supple and adventuresome, you could also check and see if this is a time where you could explore your lotus pose. Or a half lotus pose, just based on where we've been in class. What does that feel like? You can try each side if you like. Not everyone is built for lotus or even half lotus, so you're not going to be excluded from the yoga community if you aren't a person whose hip sockets do lotus position. Don't worry. Release from there. And we're going to come to Shavasana. We're going to do a specific pose just before Shavasana. The feet will be on the front edge of the chair right here. And then you'll want your legs to go under your chair for Shavasana. So please lie back and go close enough to your chair that you can put the soles of the feet together on the front edge of the chair really comfortably. The knees can go out to the side also really comfortably. And once you get that, take the arms out to the side. You can close the eyes. You could also choose to cover up with a blanket if that's kind of your speed today. Let your mind come down into the pelvic basin now. I know I might be speaking in metaphor or in ideas or imagination. I have pretty good confidence behind what I am saying here when I say that the reasons that we struggle with straightforwardness or directness, a full sincerity, the reason that we struggle with that is this bind that we're in between self and other, that then manifests in this internal bind between one part of us and another part of us. And sometimes that bind exists between right brain and left brain, our desires, our longings, and then our shoulds and shouldn'ts. So when you come down into the pelvic basin, let your mind come down into like your innocence. Acknowledge the human susceptibility, but also the deeper longing to be a person who could practice Arjava. You can release your feet from the front edge of the chair and gracefully, without bonking your shins, let's glide the legs under the chair seat and come to a regular Shavasana. Become integrated or whole is a process, not a decision. We have to keep deciding, in small increments, but it's a process. It's not just that we decide for ourselves we're now going to be an integrated whole human being. It's a process. So let yourself rest now. The efforts of your practice are complete. the entirety of the body to rest. And for all that you have activated or cultivated during class, let it find its way to homeostasis. Allow the process to continue. The mind can stay deep inside your body. Trust in your body's wisdom here. So it's sorting out what is going to be sent downstream, what is getting integrated. Sorting out circulation, recalibration. Allow the process to continue a couple minutes more. There's nothing that you have to do about the process. We're allowing and trusting. In your body's ability to integrate, start to gently roll your head side to side, left to right. And then wiggle the fingers and your toes. Because you have a chair where your legs are, please bend the knees carefully. And roll to your side. Rise up to sitting and please come to your meditation seat. Please take your seat and let's see if we can realize or maybe discover the benefit of the eye activity and also the bilateral process. Rest your hands in your lap. Listen for what might feel like a kind of quiet wisdom or a quiet kind of confidence, or maybe not quiet wisdom or confidence, but a sort of inclination that in fact Arjava, it's something that you could practice out of respect for others and also respect for yourself. Please raise your hands to your heart. Thank you very much, everyone. Namaste. Both paws under your right cheek. Bring your toes up to your nose. Close the Facebook.